Yo people, welcome back to another Mandalorian review. Questions have to be asked now. For me, regardless of what happens in the next two episodes, and I do think there will be some big stuff, I just think that this season has to be the worst season of The Mandalorian. It would be an insult to the previous two seasons if this was classified as a better overall season than seasons 1 and 2. Yes, this season can still produce better moments and bigger moments, but as a collective season, pound for pound, episode for episode, this season is already worse. It just feels like the Gina Carano firing plus Grogu being forced back into the story and a couple of other things really messed up this show, and it gave the creators a tough time in terms of having to improvise their original vision with the show, with interferences made by higher ups, probably Kathleen Kennedy. I think Din Djarin's character suffered the most because of these events, because his character arc was not caring about Grogu, then learning to look after this kid, and then learning to have to detach from him, which is why the season 2 ending was so emotional. But now, because Grogu's back, his character hasn't progressed since season 1 because of Grogu being forced back into the story, and he's also lost his right-hand man with Gina Carano, a character that he had good chemistry with and one that we could rely on. But as for this episode, Bo and Din were literally forced into a filler episode when their ship got controlled and they had to forcefully land somewhere, and then when they get into the pod, that gets forced onto them as well, and they didn't get to choose where they wanted to go, so it just felt cheap. I'm not even going to get into the main part of this episode because it was crap. It was nice to hear Dooku's name being mentioned as well, and seeing some more prequel references, seeing the Doc from Back to the Future and all of that, but it was a poor episode for me, especially because it's an episode 6 out of 8. If it was a episode 4 out of 20 or 10 out of 20, I wouldn't mind, but because we have such a short amount of episodes, every episode has to count. We even see Lizzo in this episode. At least it wasn't as bad as Megan Thee Stallion in She-Hulk, but it was just random. Jack Black as well, it just all felt a bit goofy. The only good bits was the beginning when we see the Mandalorians, they take over the ship, they take the person, whatever. Even that was cringe with the couple doing the I love you thing and whatever. Anyways, by the end of the episode as well, Bo Katan was fighting the leader of her old clan, which she was obviously going to win. However, Din Djarin just gives up his Darksaber because of what happened in episode 2, where he was defeated by a robot in an ambush, and then she defeated the robot. I'm not going to lie, I think this was a cheap way to give her the Darksaber. Yes, it's technically correct, but Din was ambushed and he was never challenged. And I thought you could only lose to a sentient being. I didn't know you could lose to AI and robots and stuff. I thought to be in contention to lose the Darksaber, you had to make it known that it was a challenge as well, like it was a WWE championship fight or something. Like I've said before as well, I have no problem with Bo having the Darksaber. In episode 2, in my review, I defended her when people were saying it was the feminist agenda, blah blah blah. However, I thought she was going to earn it by dueling or doing something more heroic. I did say in my predictions before this season started that she would end up with the Darksaber, she would be the ruler. So it's not a surprise to me that she has the saber, but it's slightly being overpowered now. This episode for me really did push Din slightly to the side, and again I don't mind because I've watched Clone Wars, I've watched Rebels, I know the capabilities that Bo Katan has, and I think she does deserve to rule, but not at the expense of Din in his own show. Literally things he could have done himself in this episode, she just ended up doing it and overshadowed him. But yeah, I didn't expect this at all from episode 6 out of 8, where we've already had quite a few fillers and not as crucial to the storyline kind of episodes, so it was a bit disappointing. We still haven't even seen Moff Gideon. I thought this would be the episode that would kind of feed into that in a bigger way than just seeing Mandalorians, but we'll see. I know his arrival will be good. I still believe there will be some good moments from this season, especially in the next 2 episodes. Hopefully we can close it out in a good way and just put all of this behind us. It has been lackluster in my opinion. But yeah, shout out to everyone that made it this far. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and have a great rest of your day.